for nuclear war is right near here. So the RCMP was investigating whether there were helicopters that were violating transportation laws, flying too low. And what the guy found was really surprising. What he found was that there are U.S. Black Hawk helicopters that make these kamikaze kind of joyrides, where they come from Fort Brom or something, and they come down below 500 feet, and they scream over the treetops, right over these houses, and they're conducting like some kinds of military exercises. And it was interesting because in the RCMP report, he writes like, we're aware that they do this. So far, our complaints have not been, you know, the interesting thing I found researching it was this. Forces military flies Black Hawks at treetop level over my neighborhood for fun.
Yeah, well, so, yeah, you know, and I read that. Yeah, I read that entire report, man. You know, like I said, like I think oh fuck, I think we're on YouTube. Are we on YouTube live right now, you guys?
It says live up top there.
Yeah, I know it says on Google Hangouts, but can you see it on YouTube?
Let's see here.
I think that like I said, I think that the fucking Guardian is fucking Diane Lebanon. I think that bitch is fucking insane. And I think Bob Exler took advantage of the fact that he was going to make this fucking make it into a big deal. And because like the Guardian had already sent letters and stuff to ufologists for, you know, a while before that footage got sent. You know, I think Bob Exler decided to fucking try to make it into a big fucking thing. He tried to like blow it out of proportion, which he did, and which Unsolved Mysteries picked up on it. He was already in cahoots with them, like working.
By the way,
you know?
Yeah, we're on YouTube.
Yeah, we're live. Just
we are.
So
Sweet.
my only difference with your theory, Kyle, is my feeling, just my intuition, is that what Diane Lebanek saw a helicopter land in her backyard, and started feeding into the UFO stories around here, which were all sightings of helicopters. And then someone like that Escher guy, that Bob guy there, caught wind of it, and I think he was the Guardian. I think he saw an opportunity to create this thing out of nothing. And I feel like he did all that Guardian crap. And Lebanek was just a housewife who got overexcited, thought she saw something she didn't, and went a little crazy.
That's the thing. You got to consider the fact that, like the shit that he was doing, he was fucking. Now they found out that he was filing reports, trying to get the Guardian exposed. Remember? Now, now why would he be doing that if it was himself?
What's interesting is,
and they only found it out by like secret. They found it out he never told anyone that he did that, and they discovered that he had done that. So it wouldn't make sense that he was going to go and file a report on himself, trying to bust himself out, you know.
But apparently it would seem that he put up some weird signs or something in preparation for bringing them into the hoax area, and like wrote weird messages on them. So that
doesn't prove that he did it.
That he put the signs up.
The messages were written on the signs.
Well, I don't. Just the feeling I got was that he was trying to create a thing. He was trying to create some kind of
I agree.
And story. And what was a story. And what was interesting about it was that as soon as the thing was done and it was kind of shown to be a hoax and he was outed, I mean, he immediately retired from UFO research. It's like he appeared to create the Guardian thing. Once it had run out of fuel, then I'm retiring from UFO research in '93, and he's been gone since.
Cons doesn't know what we're talking about, dude. I can't believe Sean can't get on the fucking Hangouts now.
It'd be interesting to track him down today. I'd like to track him down and ask him questions the way they tracked down the governor of Phoenix and asked him questions, and he actually started saying he'd seen the UFO and he had seen, it'd be interesting. Yeah, it'd be interesting to track down this guy and have him admit on camera it was all a hoax.
Oh yeah, dude.
So that you could just put it to rest.
What up? Okay, now it's your turn, buddy. You're on.
You know what, man? I'm just
shit. Now you just joined in and just watching.
Yeah,
now you gotta
dude.
fucking talk because you came on the Hangouts. Now I'm not just gonna let you sit there, dude.
you know what?
You ain't going. You ain't hanging up either. Don't give me no bullshit about. Oh, I got dinners and the kids.
I wanna hear about not about anything like the Antarctic crap, nothing like that. You were talking about they were talking about the Cash Landrum events.
Oh yeah, that's a great story, man.
I'd like to go over the facts of that. Just what was the story about?
Betty Cash and what was it? Cash and Langdon or fuck, I forget the other one's name. So they were driving, just these two old ladies and their grandson, and they're driving and they see like 22. I think they counted 22 double rotor fucking double bladed helicopters, like heavy lift military helicopters flying around this craft that looked like a glowing pink diamond. And this is how they described it. And it said it had flames coming out of the bottom of it. And it flew over the street, like over the road right in front of them, and basically stopped. And they got out of their car and they were looking at it. And then the heat, like they felt heat coming off of it. So they're like, get back in the car and go. And they went to get in the car and like their hands got burnt just grabbing the door handles. Like it was like microwaving everything apparently. And it was so intense, it ended up giving them all cancer. They all got fucking cancer and eventually died from it, So, I mean, that's pretty hardcore. But she had told the story to some fucking investigators at the same time when she had like told the military and stuff. And one investigator was fucking super smart. And he's like, where was the location where this happened? And she told him, and he fucking went out there and he took pictures of the road and everything. And that very same day, the fucking road workers blocked off the road and they took out a chunk of the road that the UFO had like burnt with the flame, dude, because that's how low it was to the ground. And they took out just that particular section of the road that very same day. I mean, what kind of fucking coincidence is that? I mean, come on, give me a break. It's like, obviously they got fucking ordered to take that shit out. And what I found was interesting was she went to the Air Force and she was like asking for help. And they said that they would give her some help. And she went there because she had cancer because of this thing. And she's like, you guys, that's all she wanted was help. She didn't want anything else, no money, just like, she's like, help me medically. And they were like, no, there is no such thing. We didn't have 22 helicopters out flying, following a UFO or whatever. And she's like, you did. She actually went to the Air Force with her bags packed and everything, you have to check, I don't know where you can have it. I actually have it in one of my books, man. Let me see.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I've heard firsthand things that it was even crazier than that. I mean, these things were more than just huge, man. They were like, they were bigger than, not to exaggerate them, but just that they were a lot, that I've had firsthand information that it was just huge.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the actual size of the triangles, the ships.
Hey, Sean.
The real story is there's a lot more, there's more to it. If you
to the cache landing, to the cache sighting. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the actual size of the triangles.
See, I didn't hear that there were any triangles in the Cache Landrum.
Just the size of the ship.
Oh,
who witnessed what they saw, a first-hand account. A friend. He told me if you could have really been there, you wouldn't believe some of the facts that are left out in the actual, the awe-inspiring crap before it fried your skin.
Fuck, man. Yeah, I mean, that's gotta be intense, dude. Fuck you. Oh, look at this motherfucker, dude.
I wasn't there. I'm just saying, y'all tell it. But,
look at this, you Muslim motherfucker. Look at this, man. Why the fuck now you got on here? How'd you get on here now, Sean? What the fuck happened?
Somebody blocked me.
No one blocked you.
Somebody had me blocked.
You. Who the fuck would block? How can someone even block somebody on there like that? You just wouldn't see their post,
Yeah, I don't know. It just kept telling me I was blocked by someone in the conversation, and then I guess they unblocked me, so I was able to get in.
how can someone block? I don't think they have the power to do that. You know? Yeah, I think you just fucked up and now you're trying to blame it on one of us, dude. That's what you're trying to do.
I should have screen capped it. No, I tried like 17 times from my computer, from my phone. It just said someone in the conversation blocked me, so I wasn't allowed to join. So it could have been anyone.
That's weird. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know. What up, Yoga? How you doing, sweetie?
Hey, what's up?
Shit, man. Telling the story. All right, tell us the story now. Pick one. Pick a cool UFO story. We'll discuss it.
I found a really good site with UFO evidence. I'm trying to find.
Is your name Yoga, fucker? You rude son of a bitch. I'm just fucking with you. You'll be next, Don.
Oh, go ahead right now.
All right, we'll give her a chance to think.
Mark on here, he has a story.
Who? Who has a story?
Drunky Smurf, he tried to type it, but there was a character limit, so he never ended up entering it. He said he was afraid that people would call him a dumbass.
Nah, man, now I want to hear a story. Fuck. Really? Damn. Oh, fuck, I want to hear a story, man. What up, Blank? How you doing, buddy?
That's what this place is for.
Yeah, dude. You know, I mean, you know, you come in here, start talking about reptiles and shit, and fucking, you know, the queen being a lizard. You know, I'll take issue with that, but fuck, other than that, you know, where the fuck did Sean go?
I'm here.
There you go. Now you're on fucking flat beer, right?
No.
I was talking to Hans, man. Yeah, no, go ahead, Sean. What were you saying? What site were you talking about?
Oh, I'm trying to find it. I posted a link to the website so that everybody can look it up. It's got lots of information. Like, it's like a registry for all the sightings, abductions, pictures. It's ufoevidence.org.
Oh yeah, I'm subscribed to them, dude. Yeah, they're pretty good, but they also put some crazy shit on there, man. Dude, if you, you know, Sean, if you're looking for a good site for UFO stuff, all the up-to-date shit, you know, going to realufoproof.tk. Have you ever gone to the UFO stalker map?
Yeah, that's really cool too.
That's the fucking best one, dude. Every fucking report, and it's not just America. You can go and look on a map around the world and get every report, every video and shit. It's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, I use that one sometimes. This one has like, I don't know how to describe it, like a dictionary almost of pictures and all their eyewitness testimonies.
It doesn't show like all the pictures from like the 1950s and like 60s and 70s and 80s and shit.
I'm gonna post it again on the site, so if anybody wants to check it out.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. All right, Blank. Now it's your turn, buddy. Come on, Fonz.
The Fonz, yeah.
Hey.
What's up, guys?
What's going on, buddy? Now, pick a UFO story, man, so you can discuss it.
Like a topic?
Yeah, you know, like one of the fucking. What's your favorite UFO case?
So many. It's just a blur in my mind.
I keep like putting everyone on the spot, dude. Goddamn, I'm sorry, you fuck. That's it, Jax.
Yes.
Tell us one.
Tell us one.
Yeah, what's your favorite one, dude?
Tell you the truth, I got two of them.
Yeah, go ahead, Cons. You're cool. Go on, Jax.
I got the Travis Walton case.
Oh yeah.
And then I have the Betty and Bonnie Hill case.
Yeah, that was the one I was going to suggest. That's one of my favorites.
Barney Hill. And that's interesting, you know, because it, you know,
it's one of the first ones.
Yes.
You know, like basically, like it was like the first mainstream abduction case. I mean, it wasn't the first abduction case. The first one was Antonio Villalobos in Brazil. Actually predated their encounter, their abduction by like fucking 6 years or something. Yeah, Antonio Villalobos. His encounter was really cool too, man. Who's not wearing headphones in this bitch? And oh, you know what? I bet you it's okay, man. Yeah, hang on. I'm gonna put your thing on mute and see if that works. Okay,
I really like
you guys hear echo?
No echo.
Yes, I still hear echo. Let's check Ricky's.
No. Yes, I still hear it.
Okay. Let's see. Now? Yep, I still Blinks is on, Cons is on, all these are on. She's muted. Sean, you're on. It looks like the rest of us all got headphones. I don't know what the fuck. Where the fuck is that coming from?
I don't hear it.
Oh, then it's probably coming from you, fucker. Let's see. What about now?
Nope.
Ah, now it's gone. Fucking Sean, you motherfucker. It was you. Fuck. Check your headphones or something.
I don't hear it. I don't hear it. Okay. I don't hear it.
Yeah,
everybody else is fucked. I don't hear it.
Fucker. Oh man. Oh shit, dude. Yeah, so if you're having issues with your headphones, Sean, like click, you can unmute it or whatever. Like click your mute button or something when you're not talking. That way we don't hear that fucking badass echo. How come I can't unmute his ass? Oh, there we go. Okay. I think it's okay, good. Oh, now the fucking echo's back. So about the Betty and Barney Hill case, Jax, what draws you to the story? You think it's legit? You think Stanton Friedman was selling a book? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's legit. I mean, look at how many polygraph tests that they took over the years, and even after Barney Hill ended up dying, she still continued to take polygraph tests and passed every single one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's another side of it too, which is that they were a couple during a really difficult era, and it was already difficult for them being. Yeah, it's already difficult enough for them being an interracial couple, and the attention that draws. What possible motive would they have to draw even more attention to themselves by making up a story about being abducted? It makes no sense. And passing all the polygraphs, it's a very credible account.
Their clothes were radiated.
What did everyone read what Khan said? He's like, the strangest thing I find about the Betty and Barney Hill case is that he's black.
Yeah, I read that.
Fucking little douchebag.
That's just what everybody was saying right now. So that's not just my opinion. It's everybody says that. It's really strange.
Just the way you say it.
I bet they went through a lot of shit to get married back then.
Oh, you know it, man. It's like, and why put yourself out to get, you're already going to get fucked with. So now you're going to get fucked with because you're going around saying, oh, these aliens came and fucked with me. You're really going to get fucked with now. I just don't see it being worth it.
That's what makes it so credible to me. I believe them.
Boy died of a fucking ulcer, which I find interesting that he got an ulcer while having his fucking, like his experience or whatever. Like he gets his fucking a stomach ulcer, and I think that eventually kills him or whatever. I forget, but and he got that from like his repressed memories of this encounter with these fucking and being stressed the fuck out. Oh, he probably had ulcer. He probably had fucking brutal heartburn and shit all the time, and fucking it's like going to fucking work and like just fucking hating his life, and he's like, those fucking little alien bastards. I swear to God, dude, I'd fucking tornado kick one of those motherfuckers. He just fucking he probably hated it. Should you get out to me? Is someone else trying to get on? I was talking to Mark. Sorry, guys. 10 max. If you're not talking, you don't want you go ahead. Feel free, man. I
don't think you have the microphone.
Watching, old boy's giving up his spot. Mark, Captain Spaulding deleted here, is about to give up his spot. So here's your chance to fucking come in and jump on. So go pay him a ransom or a bribe or whatever the fuck. I don't know.
What's your opinion on the Kenyan UFO landing with all the kids?
Oh, you're talking about the that's one of my favorite ones. And it's not the
it's also very credible.
I'm saying it's not the Kenyan one, but maybe there is one I don't know about that you're talking about. I was talking about the Zimbabwe UFO at the Ariel school.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. That's what I'm thinking of. With all the
is there a Kenyan one, or is that what? Or did you mean Zimbabwe one?
It might be that one. I just know it's a bunch of school kids that were out, and then the UFO landed and tried to abduct them and talk to them, and they like stayed. They weren't scared, but they were scared, and that it tried to like telepathically communicate with them, and then they like ran.
I did I did a video on that called the Children of UFOs. Man, you should check it out. Do a whole like report on that shit. It's actually a really good video too. And I talk about the Voronezh landings and shit, man. That's an awesome case a lot of people don't even know about, man. You know, but that Area on School case, you know, when you got people like John Mack on there, how can you fucking, you know, how can you question credentials like that? You know, the head of, you know, he's professor emeritus of psychology at Harvard University.
Yeah,
I mean, he could talk about UFOs all he wants to, and he had tenure. He was professor emeritus. No one could touch him. They're just like, deal with it. He was giving lectures on fucking alien abductions at Harvard. You know, and
he's what allows you to know that the kids believe what they're saying. It's not a story.
Oh fuck yeah! He's saying it.
Kids.
You know, there's no one who's going to be able to fucking, in my opinion, there's no one who's going to be able to argue with John Mack's assertion that the kids are telling the truth. You know, if anyone's going to be able to figure that out, he will. I mean, the guy's fucking professor of psychology at fucking Harvard. You know, so he knows when you know, when people are being pathological or, you know, having some kind of a psychotic episode and shit. That's his whole job. You know, he's like, came out. He's like, the kid saw a fucking alien. What do you want? he's like, that's what happened. What they say happened is what happened.
He tried to disprove it, but he just couldn't because they were all being credible. They weren't being imaginative or anything like that. They all, he interviewed 62 kids separately, and they all gave him the same story. So.
And it's interesting. What I found interesting is how, and the thing that he found interesting, he's like, what I asked, and a number of kids said they saw the aliens actually leave. He said that they saw them get back into the craft and fly away. But do you know how they got back into the craft? They flew up. They floated into the air, like they flew into the air and went into the top of the craft head first. And he's like, so a number of different kids had told him this. And he's like, if a child is going to make up a way to get into a UFO, it would say, when they're lying, it would have said stairs or a door open.
Yeah.
You know, for them to make up the idea that just doesn't make sense for anybody. So if you're making a lie, you tell lies because you want someone to believe you. So you won't tell something that's so ridiculously unbelievable that no one will fucking, you know, believe it. You know? And so it's like, I love that baby.
but kids are basically honest anyway, you know.
Yeah, right, Ricky.
Sorry, I had to get her a drink.
No, you're fine, Margot. Bring them on. Bring them on. Get over here, you little baby.
You know what's really interesting about?
Danny, come here.
Yeah. You know what's really interesting about that school story?
What?
Oh yeah, let's see the baby.
Yeah.
Oh, about the school story is that how they were communicating with the aliens, it's clear that the aliens don't understand us as much as we don't understand them.
Yourself? Look.
That's true.
Yourself down there?
Oh my God, she's adorable. Look at that.
You see?
Cute as a button. I'm gonna put her up on screen. Look at that. Oh.
He said, I love that baby. I want to see the baby.
Look at that little baby. Oh my God, she's adorable.
Sitting with mommy.
I like those headphones you're wearing, Yoga. Those are fucking bad.
Thanks. Dude. My husband gave them to me. That he bought some new ones, and these are hand-me-downs.
Oh, so his are probably even better than those. They're probably sick as fuck. I want to see. Tell him I want to see his, man.
He wants to see your headphones. He likes mine.
Mine?
Yeah.
They're probably all bad as fuck, all glowing and fucking little disco balls and shit on there. Oh, look at this motherfucker. What up, David? This motherfucker been trying to get on here forever with us. Finally, he's made it. Thank God. About time. How you doing, buddy?
Hi, you.
Holy shit. Look at those things, man. Oh. Probably hear me. Sorry about that.
She's all right.
All right. Sorry about that.
UFO proof. Watch your buddy mouth.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I know. On UFO proof, I know. I'm like, yay. Oh, she's adorable, man. Well, I didn't get to see him. Put the headphones back. I missed them. I'm sorry.
Oh, hold on.
She's going to get on Facebook. Watch this little girl's going to get on Facebook right now and start sending out tweets. He's got wireless ones too. Yeah, those are sick. Oh, those are slick as shit too.
He loves
They
them.
probably eat batteries.
Awesome, man.
Turtle Beach Stealth 400s.
Turtle Beach Stealth 400s. Wow, those sound awesome, man. I want some of those.
They're from the freaking future.
Yeah, they're from the future, dude. He can like straight up. He can literally hear Marty McFly with those things, dude.
I'm actually getting a whole new setup.
Are you, Jax?
Yeah.
You lucky motherfucker.
You pretend to sleep, baby.
Less than $100 bucks.
And then it's always nice. Of course, it's your fault, fucker. Oh, man, sorry. Oh my god.
Uncle Kyle needs soap.
Even if the little girl is laughing about me, now you got it. You won.
She's like, I like the kitty. Oh man, where'd David go?
He booted or left, whatever.
Dude,
yeah, he wasn't talking. He just left.
Oh man, he's always on here. He's always coming to hit me up, and I'm always trying to get him on here. And like, never. I send him a link and everything. Oh man, I got to get him back on here. He was lost in the echo. He might have been. Oh man. All right, so Hans, why do you keep turning off your mic?
Maybe because I'm trying to reduce the echo.
Ah, very good. Good job. Good thinking.
Yeah, no, I wanna learn because I can't really contribute much about this personal UFO cases because.
How come you aren't on the camera, man?
Yeah, you know, I don't want to shock other people. So I think, man,
you don't want to.
My avatar is good enough for that.
Get the Cons, get your ass on here, dude. Jeez, man.
You want to sit on mommy's lap?
Or change your thumbnail to a set of titties or something, man. I'm staring at this cat with like rainbow vomit coming out of its mouth, man.
It's awesome. It's social justice, Grumpy Cat.
You make faces.
Is that your cat?
No. You don't know Grumpy Cat? Oh my god. You have to like seriously
I'm not
educate
Norwegian
yourself.
or whatever the fuck you are, dude. Where are you from? Wales or something? I forget.
No, I'm from Europe, Austria, but Grumpy
Austria,
Cat.
that's it. Oh yeah, that's it. It's Austria.
Grumpy
Can they
Cat.
hear you guys too?
Is that like a cool
US.
thing?
I wasn't sure if you have microphones over there or not.
Yeah, I can hear
What's up, buddy?
Wild child.
Oh shit! Damn it!
Say Huggy. Wait. Oh, yeah. Huggy still.
I'm back. My little dog. She's such a little bitch, fucking slut dog. Oh fuck.
Oh, your dog is awesome.
You got kids on the show, man.
She's a little cutie, dude.
The other UFO case that I like is the Allagash 4 abduction.
Oh yeah, dude, definitely, man. The Allagash abduction was two of them were twins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was a really interesting case, man. Like they seen for everyone who doesn't know, for everyone watching, so the Allagash case, there was 4 friends, they were out camping and fishing. They decided to take their boat out at night and do a little night fishing, and they make this huge bonfire and get out to the middle of the lake or whatever, and you see this ball of light and it comes at them, and one of them like points a flashlight at it, and they said the second like it did it, it was fucking on top of them and it hit them with like a beam of light, and then the light just turned off and the UFO floated away and they went back to shore, but when they got back to shore the fire was like out, you know, and they made a huge like bonfire that should have burnt for hours, but it was all of a sudden it was out, so they just decided, oh, let's just go to bed. They didn't say nothing about the UFO or nothing like that. And then years later, one of the twins started having what did he have, seizures, or he had some kind of medical problem, and they were doing like hypnosis on him, and it was like all stemming back to that from that night. And then he had like started having recollections of being taken on board a fucking UFO with his friends and by these aliens and shit. And he described everything that he remembers happening. And then they went and got the other members of the group, the two friends and then the twin brother, and they asked them what happened. And they all told the same story. Like, amazing. Like, they're like, no, we were in a room. He's like, I remember being in a room, looking at the table, then looking over to the side and seeing the rest of the group, the other three guys. They were all sitting on the bench naked, butt fucking naked, you know, shit like that. Like, you know, they had like such weird, like, you know, they all had the same describing the same exact event. You know, I mean, it was really cool. And another detail what that was cool that stuck out is that they floated them down back to the boat and we're putting them in. And then one of the dudes, who was like a bigger dude, like the biggest dude of the group or whatever, they were having trouble putting his pants back on. Like, one of the guys said they saw the aliens like struggling to put this one guy's fucking pants like all the way in, and so they ended up just like leaving his shit like kind of like undone and stuff, and they put him back in the boat and went back into the light and fucking floated away, man. It's a really interesting case. So if you get a chance to check that out,
wasn't there one of the guys that kind of freaked out over it and really wouldn't talk about it for a long time?
Oh, you used to candy.
Yeah, correct. It was one of the brothers, I believe. Or no, maybe it wasn't.
Here, I'm reading it. Both twins discovered they were having bedtime visitations by alien creatures and abduction.
Sean, take over for a minute.
Early childhood. Let's see here. So the twins were having experiences their whole lives, and they were getting this from regressed hypnosis. And let's see. Jack and his wife Mary were abducted from their remote mountain home in Townsend, Vermont. During the night of May 20, 1988, Jack's dog woke him up when he scratched at the door, wanting to go relieve itself. When Jack got up to put him out, he was shocked to see a blue light shining through the kitchen window. He went out to look and saw a glowing object hovering over the field adjoining his house. He decided to bring the dog back in the morning, and he thought he had dreamed about the whole thing. However, under hypnosis, he relived a shared abduction experience with his wife in minute detail. Mary only remembered dreaming about a deer with big eyes coming to their bedside. She did not respond to hypnosis. The following excerpt is from Jack's hypnosis session. Quote, "It's a blue light, and I think that's funny."
Always with the blue lights.
And then I go to the window and I look out the window, and what I see is amazing. I see a big bright light, and it's right over the truck in the field outside the house. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I can't believe that. And so I say, Mary, get up and look. And I run to the door, and I go out the door, and I'm running towards the light up in the field. Then I see the dog running alongside me. And so I pick him up and run back to the house. The light is still there, and it's moving. And then I put the dog back in bed, and I'm thinking, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this now, and I don't want to look at the light. So I'm going back to bed, and I'm thinking, I don't want to deal with this now. Why are they here now? And I'm scared. So I pull the covers over my head, and Mary's next to me. And then I know that something in the house. I just know. And that they're here, and I'm under the covers to think, oh God, why are they here now? I don't want this to happen. And then he gasps, and then the covers move, and I feel something on the covers. And then the covers are down, and I'm looking there, and I was right. They're right there. Oh God, they're right there, right next to my bed. It's big eyes and big head, and it's dark, and there's light behind it coming in the door, and it's just taking the covers away. I don't want to look at it. And I look at Mary. There's another one there, and it's next to Mary, and I wish I could do something, but I can't. I have to do what they want, and the light is out there, and they want me to go out there. They're lifting me. Mary's standing, and they're making us move towards the light. The dog isn't doing anything. We're just We're through the door, we walk up the lawn, and I feel like I'm floating. Our feet are on the ground, but my feet are not doing what I want them to do. End quote.
Wow, that's fucking cool, dude.
Jack and Mary were brought to stand in front of the huge house, glowing object sitting on the blue light. It enveloped its underside. The glow around the object itself was changing colors from white to yellow to orange to purple and back to white. No noise emanated from the object, but the air was filled with an acrid, never heard of that word, smell of ozone. So I guess like a minute
acrid
smell of ozone. Yeah, whatever that means. Don't know what that means. And they were made to walk into the object, and they were transferred inside the object instantly. They separated the two of them for examinations, and then it reminded him of the experience 12 years earlier. After the examination, Mary rejoined Jack, and they were literally floated across the lawn from the craft into their house, through the open front door and into their bedroom, and went back into a strange, lethargic state of mind.
That's
evidence behind
nuts,
in the form of burns on the bottom of Jack's feet. Jack also received a biopsy-like scoop mark from his ankle during the abduction.
What up, Orchestrated Madness? How you doing, buddy?
You know what's interesting about that, Sean? I just finished watching the with the guy from Rendlesham Forest, one of the soldiers.
What's his name? James Patterson?
He describes the same exact thing. He describes the blue lights, their life forms. They want me to do this. They want me to do that. You know, Kyle, it's interesting because the Rendlesham Forest guy, this guy, and you all describe a desire to go after and be with the thing.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the first part of the abduction or the second part?
About this correlation between these stories of people, they'll see a sphere or they'll see a light, and to them it will be like it's a living life form, and they'll want to be with it. They'll want to chase after it. They'll, you know, like they're in love with it.
Yeah. It's fucking weird, dude. It's like it's really weird how it like makes you feel, you know. Like I wanted to cry like a fucking 3-year-old with a skint knee. Like I was like like fucking I did not want it to fucking leave, you know. For real, I was, you know,
having a spiritual awakening.
It broke my heart, man. It was so upsetting to watch it float away. I mean, it was, you have no idea how hurtful it was. It's like your wife handing you divorce papers. You're just like, oh, like you're just so crushed inside. You're like, oh God, please don't do this to me. Please come back. I'll kill you.
Well, you know what's weird? Either want to be with it, or they feel compelled to do what it tells them to do.
It's like it's like it all seems to like run off of feelings. That's all I can say about from my personal experience is that, you know, like all the you know contact you have is all through a feeling that you get. And like when you so when I would go out to go and stuff, like I would like wake up in the middle of the night and go wherever the fuck I was meant to go. And it's weird because like I would be driving and sometimes it was really far. Sometimes it would be like fucking 20 miles away or whatever. But I'd be driving and like I would pass up the road, okay? I would pass up and be like, oh fuck, it's back, there it is. And I have to turn around. And I'm like, this is a place I've never been in my life. I've never fucking been there. And I'm like, oh, that's it. And I would just turn around like, oh, there we go. And it's like, you know exactly where to go and how to get there. It's like, even if you've never been there before, you're like, oh, it's over here. But wait, right over there, you know, like it's fucking weird, man. But then I don't know. I'm like, you know, I have no idea what it means other than, you know, you get this feeling that just drives you to go and see them, you know, like, I don't know. It's really weird. But you know, when you see them, like, it's almost like an addiction, like to where, like, if you don't see them, like you would fucking lose your mind. Like you would fucking, you know, like it's like a guaranteed when you get like that call to go out there that you're going to see them. It's just a matter of time, you know. And then whatever experience you have, whatever type of UFO or whatever, you know, that all depends. But I mean, like that, you never go and then not see them. Like when you're compelled to go out to wherever they want you to go. It seems like, I mean, like, I've never had a time where I was like, oh, I got to go out there to see them and then not see them, you know? So, but it all seems to run off of emotions, you know, like how you just get the sense of something. And I think that's like, I can't attest to anything else. I can't say anything about mental telepathy or anything like that.
It's just pure intuition.
Yeah, it's straight up like it's just like a feeling you get. Like you can tell when something is mad, even if it doesn't have a bad expression on its face. You can tell when something's happy, you know, even if it's not laughing or whatever. Like you just get feelings from stuff and from people, you know, and it's like that. It's a fucking, it's weird, you know. It's almost like Go ahead.
I've experienced just like a sense of calm.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, like I mean, for some people, you know, I know for me, I get a sense of calm when I finally see them. But up until that point, like you're wanting to get your fix. You're like, come on, man, I need my fucking UFOs. Come on, like you know, you're like a junkie and shit. You know, it's weird, man. I can see how people, why they go off the fucking deep end and why, you know, the obsession and shit like that, and why people think UFO people are crazy, because it's so weird. It's so,
they fucking are.
You know, it's so indirect. Hey, what up, girl? How you doing, Bomb?
Good. How are you doing?
Good.
Hi, everybody.
Good.
How you doing?
Good.
Yeah, we're just bullshitting about our feelings of UFOs and shit like that, man. So feel free to jump in.
Cool.
I mean, the thing is that if you see all these different cases, all these abduction cases and whatnot, and then you think back and look at it and go, why not me? You know, and it's like, I want to experience that.
You know, let me tell you something, okay? Now, I don't ever claim to be an abductee or anything like that. People have made that assumption about me, and I can understand why, because of like my, you know, close contacts, like technically with these UFOs. But I certainly have no recollection. I mean, there was one time where I fucking was dreaming of a UFO, and I woke up outside down the street from my house. I had one fucking shoe on. There was that time. But other than that, like, you know, I don't.
He was abducted.
You know, like I don't remember. I have no recollection of anything like that. So I never try to make that claim. But like when people say like they want to be abducted and shit, I almost don't want it to be that way. Like, you know, if I thought that maybe I got abducted and I wanted to go have hypnotic regression or whatever, I'm not even sure that, you know, that I would, just because there's so many people who do that, who end up like freaking out. Like they get hypnotized, then they remember the aliens or whatever, and then they start screaming and freaking out. And it concerned me so much that I'm like, I would never do it, just because I'm like, I don't want to ever lose that love for them, and I don't ever want it to be questioned, and I don't ever want to have any kind of fear, because I'm just totally head over heels in love with them, and that's just the way I like it, you know. And so doing it any other way, like it might, like I don't want to be abducted just for that simple fact, just because I wouldn't want to be scared away from it.
I feel like that's part of it. They regress your memory so you don't get freaked out, because it's
isn't that interesting?
Traumatizing.
You know, I mean, it is really interesting that there's so many people who claim that happens to them, where that they, you know, were with a UFO or with an alien in a UFO, and they wipe their memory and stuff, and it seems like they do it to stop people from freaking out. And that's why it pisses me off when people like Stephen Greer and shit say shit about, oh, you know, these you know, abductions are evil, or people say like you know, the aliens are they're abducting people, which is evil, they're demonic, whatever fucking bullshit. It's like, dude, they care enough about us and our emotions that they try to do it when it has the least amount of impact on us. They try to do it and take away your memory of it, as to not cause you mental harm and shit. Like, it seems like they go out of their way to, you know, not make you afraid. That they're constantly like giving you images of love and shit like that. Now, I don't know how accurate that is, but I'm just saying, from the number of stories I've heard, the number of reports, it seems like like there's got to be some kind of truth behind it. So,
Travis Walton was pretty freaked out, man.
Oh yeah, but Travis Walton was, I think, an accident. You know, like he was getting close to the craft. Something happened. He got hit, some kind of field, a beam, whatever. And they're like, they could have just left him there to die, but they didn't. They took him back in. They took him in the UFO, and they're like, fix him. Wait, 5 days before he got healed or whatever. They're like, he's fixed. Okay, drop his ass off. Let's go. You know, so it's like they seem to have like our best interest at heart. Now, is that because they care about us, or is that because they care about their experiment or their, you know, whatever? Who knows?
A little bit of all of it.
Yeah, you know, who really knows? But it doesn't seem to be bad by any means. When you think about all the stuff that they do, it seems pretty good, actually.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Now, wasn't he hit with a blue light also?
Yes. Yeah. He, in fact, he says that he believes, and this is what's really cool about like the Travis Walton case. He claims, or he thinks that the craft was getting ready to take off, and it was building up some kind of energy field, and he got too close to it, and he kind of grounded it, like, you know, like touching the ground in an electric wire, and it like kind of zapped him, you know, and so they had his friends left, and so the UFO was like, he's gonna fucking die out here, so they took him in, and I think this is one thing that's what's really interesting is he's like, when he woke up and he saw the aliens standing around him, he fucking flipped his lid, dude. You know, he was like, fuck motherfuckers. And he got back, he got off the thing. He saw like there was a piece of metal thing on his chest that was like now on the table or on the floor or something next to him. And he picked that up and he's like, you fucking aliens. He's like, you know, fight or flight. And he had nowhere to run. So he's like, I got to fight these fuckers. But one of the things that is interesting about his story is like, one of them stepped forward and was staring at his eyes, just dead looking at him. And then he said, like, he was like, oh, you know, he was going to hit him first. And then the other two like stepped forward, and that they were all three, boom, staring at his eyes. And then he was like, fuck it, now I got to do it. And he raised up his thing because he's like, I got to fucking fight my way out. And he's like, and then they looked at each other and backed up and then ran out the room. Like, it seems like, and he says he had the feeling that they were trying to get into his mind, like they were trying to fucking get into his mind, calm
something
him
went
down.
Wrong.
Yeah, and something like maybe the craft, when it hit him, it fucked something up in his brain to where their little eye control powers don't fucking work anymore.
I wrote a short story about that, dude.
Is that interesting or what? Dude,
yeah, it's the premise is that the guy gets abducted and something goes wrong where their mind control thing doesn't work.
Yeah,
and he just wreaks havoc across the ship because that's never happened before. And they're just tiny little children. And it turns out when they don't have their mind powers, they're really easy to beat up. I had this idea for a comedy movie or something like that, like a skit.
Costello.
Yeah. I think it's a very interesting story, man. And it seems well, just when you look at all the evidence of all different cases and stuff, that there could be some kind of truth behind it. I mean, it seems like there's something that has to deal with the eyes and the eyes making contact, and when their eyes look at your eyes, they're able to whether it's through actual telepathic means or whether it's through some kind of technology. Maybe their contact lenses fucking put off some kind of code that fucking hypnotizes you. Yes, you may interject, Cons. Go ahead, buddy, you fucking cat.
That's very nice. Thanks. I was just wondering, you were mentioning before that you think that the aliens, if they make contact with us and like abduct us, they take care about our feelings, and we have some kind of feeling of peace and love, and
it's been reported, quite a few reports.
But on the other hand, you also did this really cool video about first contact from the perspective of humankind regarding aliens and really advanced civilizations. So we have to assume that they are able to inject whatever they want into our emotions, be it like love, peace, and nice feelings. So it's not like they may be benevolent in interjecting those feelings. Maybe they just do it for like keeping us calm.
Correct. I have to agree with him on that. You know, like who knows their motives and who knows their actual beliefs. If they're able to produce some so-called like synthetic emotions in you, who's to say how they really feel or whatever? As long as it's like, oh yeah, give him a little love juice, he'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I mean,
know
like,
what though, Kyle?
Makes sense. What up, buddy?
What's weird about it is that if they are abducting people and they're doing experiments and they're just tranquilizing us and just being merciful and putting us back, there must be some kind of rules.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, why wouldn't they just be treating the Earth like a buffet and just enslaving us and cutting us up into whatever and just experimenting on us and doing whatever, just fucking us up entirely? Why coming in, swooping in, grabbing a few people, doing a few things and not just taking over the whole planet?
Let's see. Let's think about this.
There are millions of missing people.
Think about this. If they're going around, if you look at what we do with animals on Earth today, do we go and just fuck up an entire
we utterly
species?
Obliterate them. We utterly destroy them.
Now we do that that's out of that's out of a population. Now you're talking a couple. Scientifically. You're not talking the population of aliens. You would be talking maybe 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. See what I'm saying? So when it comes to like whatever they're doing,
so that's obviously the tourist theory. That's the tourist theory.
That it's more like I wouldn't say tourist. I would say work. It's more like work.
They're scientists.
They're scientists. They're collecting data.
But that's what I mean is they must have rules. They must have some kind of rules they follow where they must have some kind of morality.
I don't think so. Let's just assume for a second that aliens are visiting us, and this is a fact. So we know that aliens are visiting us, and they are abducting people.
Okay.
So that's the fact we're going off of.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a fact that they don't want to kill the entire human population and like take over the world, because if they wanted to, they would already have done that.
True.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's clear. So on the other end, what could be the reason why they are doing this? So it's the most logical conclusion, in my opinion, would be research.
Researching, absolutely. I agree with you on that 100%.
They're doing exactly what humans would do if we can get a hold of them.
Right?
You know.
No, I don't think that. If humans would get a hold of them,
and also not exactly.
All them. We would kill them all, and we would take over everything.
Damn right. All right. Yeah, I'll catch one of those little motherfuckers, dude. He's gonna give me everything he's fucking got.
But if like some researcher and scientist who has some kind of an ethical perspective on things, he would maybe act like an alien would. Just
I think
abducting 2 or 3 people a year. Or,
I don't think humans would be fucking with any like aliens and like trying to fuck up their population. We already make it a point not to try to wipe out species on Earth. So I think that we would view them as equals to us, and so I don't think we would consider like wiping them out.
Knowing what they are capable of, they deserve much respect. I would not be messing around.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Even if they were less advanced than we were, say they were less than we were and we discovered them, I still think that we would prevent.
That's what the movie Avatar is about.
Well, there are thousands and thousands of people that totally disappear every year with no trace.
Yep.
Yeah, but see now when people bring that up, I always have to point out the fact that look at what you're saying right there. They disappear with no trace. So what evidence is there to suggest that they're being taken by aliens?
Well, there's not any
exactly
evidence. But there's also there's so many there. I mean, I'm not talking just 1 or 2,000.
Very weird circumstances.
Yeah,
but people go missing on Earth all the time. People go missing, they die hiking, and people go missing all the time. It doesn't mean they're getting abducted by aliens to never be returned,
Yeah, right.
I think it's kind of a stretch going there. I think it's kind of like when like that one guy, I forget who he is, that one cop or whatever,
David
does that whole
Paulides.
thing.
David
I think he's just kind
Paulides.
of damn it, Tim. Why does Tim always fucking do this? They always call me on fucking Google Hangouts. It's like, you gotta go to the link, you fuckers.
David Paulides missing 4,400.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
You know,
Maybe there's some like psychopath
Tim,
aliens.
you gotta come to the link, man.
Like this
It's on the website, buddy.
The really psychopathic aliens, they just go there in their single-seat UFOs and they
Yeah,
like
I
kill
can't hear you, man.
people.
Come through the link. All right, buddy. I'm sorry. Go say that again, buddy.
Talking to me now?
Yes, I'm talking to you, Khan. Sorry.
Yeah, so
talking to
maybe there's also some kind of psychopathic aliens. They're like acting on their own and they're coming over on their single-seater UFOs and killing people.
That's very possible. And
Vigilantes.
I think the fact that I think it needs to be spoken about that. Why does everyone assume that the entire? I think it's basically racist to think that all aliens believe or do the same thing. It always comes down to the individual.
Yeah, it's like Star Trek. We assume that all aliens have some kind of agenda. This first directive every alien is acting upon. But maybe it's like completely weird. Like,
sure, there's good and bad.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's good aliens and bad aliens, and
like I've said before, quoting Palpatine, good and evil are a point of view. To one person is good, and to another person is bad. So it's like, that's good and evil only exist in our minds, and in reality, it doesn't exist. There's no good or there's no evil, and we consider this serial killer, this rapist, bad, all right? But
he doesn't see it bad.
In a different world, it's not bad to him. He's doing it out of necessity because his body is craving it. Whatever the fuck. So it's like. It's just I just don't see there being like like good and evil, but I just see them being indifferent, and so we can consider it evil, or we consider it bad, or we consider it good. It just really depends on the individual, but just what they're doing. There's one thing I want to theorize for a minute here. So let's just go ahead and throw this out and say that yes, their gray aliens exist. They're like 3 foot tall, fucking gray skin, giant black eyes, right? The stereotypical gray. Let's say that we know for a fact they already exist. Okay, done.
I'm off, guys.
What would be the evolutionary process that would cause them to become like they were? Do you think that? Oh, did Jax take off? Is he out of here?
Yeah,
all right, Jax. We'll see you later, buddy. What do you think would be the evolutionary process?
It would be artificial, Kyle.
Do you think that maybe it was like something like an intelligent ant? Maybe an ant received the intelligence before any other bug on their planet did, and it evolved into something like that. How kind of like like they say we evolved from a monkey, like something like that. Do you think maybe they have some kind of insectoidal,
kind of like transhumanism?
Yeah, well, kind of like let's just try to use evolutionary process. All right, what would they have evolved from? Okay, like where what do you think the gray alien would have evolved from? They wouldn't always be gray aliens. So
well, they could have been humans.
We can't really tell that because we have no way of saying where they come from and what their evolutionary.
But we have a way of theorizing it.
Yeah, but
they think they're humans that were evolved in space.
We have some way of theorizing about it, but according to the theory of evolution takes place on every planet by itself. So we can assume that the perspective of the gray aliens or other aliens is so much different from our own that we have no idea what they really came from. So it's nothing we can compare. It's not insectoid, it's not reptilian, it's not humanoid, it's not.
Just try to work it out for fun, for role playing.
There is a theory. I know a theory. There's a theory that says that we live in a universe where any sentient life form is going to, by the laws of physics and the way evolution works, is by that rule going to be bipedal and have grasping appendages with opposable, like a grasping opposable appendage,
Yeah, but
and binocular vision. That any sentient life form will have those attributes.
Yeah,
so it won't matter where it comes from.
Yeah, exactly. So it could be anything. It could be like, even if it was silicon based, in the end it would look like us. That's the theory, right?
Deep.
They theorize that the Greys are
That's
humans.
the theory. That's the theory I'm talking about, is what Cons is talking about.
What you got, Sean?
No, I get it.
There's that theory they say that aliens are humans that evolved in space after thousands of years. Like they're space-faring race. Like we're planet humans, they're space humans, where they have gravity and no gravity.
I've heard that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like they don't have sunlight, so they turn gray. Their eyes are different because of they need to take in more light. They're skinny because there's no gravity to help them form muscle. So like that's why there's like the abductees that beat the shit out of them because they can't fight.
Well, I think that if that was the case, if they were a spacefaring race that, you know, where these attributes had caused because of evolutionary process, wouldn't you think that they wouldn't even be here? They would just be using little avatars, little machines to, you know, because they're weak, flimsy, frail, fucking petite little snowflake bodies can't handle it, you know?
That's another theory. That far advanced biobots. They don't think that the Greys
Better watch
are
your
even
words,
real.
Kyle. You're gonna get abducted.
Right.
Kyle's already been abducted.
Probably.
Probably. Fuck, no, my luck, dude.
Well,
yeah, there's probably a natural
process. Like the little Greys, they're, you know, the fact that they have a head, 2 eyes, 2 arms, you know, 2 legs.
They're always asymmetric, yeah.
Yeah, so,
you know?
So to me, that's more human-like, you know? So, you know, I've always thought that it's like oh, I'm sorry, I think it's Sean said that, you know, we may be space humans, you know, but are we, in my way of thinking, couldn't it possibly be us from the future? Because now I know that, you know, time travel backward is considered, you know, crazy, but that's now. What about 1 million years from now?
But the past, present, and future is all. They think it all coincides. It's
That's
all
what,
in one.
You know, I tend to agree with that. I mean, even as outlandish as it sounds, it's, you know, it seems like it's possible, not only but like probable. One, you know, with the different theories coming out now, and then, you know, just the effects that humans experience, stuff like deja vu and shit like that. And we understand, like, you know, the world around us exists and works through a cycle. It doesn't start somewhere and end somewhere. It's always just going. So you always have a day, the sun always rises, you know, and then like every year you'll come back around to where it's winter again, and you're like, oh, it's going to snow now. See, the snow is going to be coming up, so we need to plant our crops now, because we understand these cycles. So I could see there like being a, you know, maybe time isn't in fact linear, and it's more of like a circular time, like it doesn't go forward or backwards at all, you know, like it just yeah, like maybe it just is.
We put a label on it so we can perceive it.
Yeah, like, you know, now if we were the sun, if we didn't have any way of keeping track of time, I mean, like, what do we use now? Like when we don't have that, the atomic clock, right? So it's like, you know, you're counting every time a proton spins around a neutron, you know, and that's how you have to keep track of your, you know, time and everything. It seems like it has to be broken down to the fucking the bare minimum, you know? true, there can't be time travel in the future, but I would think there's, I mean, I think there could be time travel in the future. I mean, we already know for a fact you can try time travel to the future by going fast. That's all you have to do. The faster you go, the faster you will get to the future. And I mean, that's physics, you know, that's fucking Einstein. You know, I just think
travel to the past.
That's got to be difficult, I would think, but I still think that it's possible. I'm not sure why I think that. I mean, just when you look at like special relativity and you look at like the quantum universe, I mean, when you get down to the quantum level, like everything's fucking possible. You know, it's like not only is it possible to go back in time, you know, when you look at stuff like the simulation theory and the double slit experiments and stuff. I mean, these particles are making decisions in the future. You know, they're making decisions now on how to affect themselves based on prior future events, you know, like events that are yet to happen. They've already learned how to make the decision, like they're psychic, you know. So
the double slit experiment is one of the things that suggests that that gives some weight to the simulation theory.
Oh, I agree. You know, I mean, I obviously you guys know I totally agree with the damn simulation theory now. You know, but yeah, it seems to make sense, man.
The only limitations we have are the ones we set for ourselves.
Simulation theory is a mindfuck.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, but it's it seems the most plausible to me, man. Like the simulation theory. Yeah, with my personal experience, not saying that, you know, it matters for everybody.
You know what the simulation might be? The simulation may be time itself.
I believe you guys are all the simulation to me. And I believe
we're trapped in the fucking Sims.
Yeah, you guys are all just Sims to my fucking creation, you know. And then the same goes for you guys, you know. Like right now, Monique is running this whole show. Everything that's happening is because of her. And I'm saying the stuff I'm saying because she wanted it. So she's saying it. She doesn't know it. She's just a small piece of herself, you know. And that's so.
Not, you're like the geocentric point of view. You're the egocentric point of view.
Yes, very egocentric point of view. I believe that I am God.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, because if I'm sitting in my car and I'm driving around, then my car is not moving, but the world is moving beneath me.
If I'm not looking at you, you don't exist.
Yeah, that's just a relativity. That's what Einstein was talking about.
Correct.
That's exactly the theory of relativity.
There's a lot of physicists who, you know, agree with that and have the same assertions that, you know, just like you got to understand, like, okay, so, you know, you have like materialism and idealism, and when you have to have the thought first, you know, like you have to be able to, you know, make the consideration in your mind first, and that's everything else is based off of that. So the world is based off of nothing but a thought. You know, it's just like it just seems so logical. It makes so much more sense to me that that's exactly how it works. You know, I didn't even know I believed in what I believe in until like I had my experience. And then I told my girlfriend about it, and I'm like, "Yeah, baby, I'm God. I bet you didn't know that." You know, like. And, I had
so Kyle, it's almost like
and find out. Oh, sorry, Tom. It took me a while to research and find out stuff like there's like a name for it. You know that? It's
blasphemy.
Pantheism.
So, Kyle, I guess I have a name for it. You're gonna probably get mad when I say it.
Shit, what is it? Get ready to boot his ass out.
The way that you describe this, it almost sounds to me like something eternal decided one day to simulate the finite. And that sounds a lot to me like God decided to create a universe.
Yes. I created this universe.
But when you're Kyle in your mortal form, you're not God. You're just a small piece of God.
Correct. I am merely a tiny little cell of God. So are you guys. And it's our collective mind and all together that makes God. Like when you become God, when you die, you become God. And then you realize, oh, your life on Earth is fucking meaningless, dude. It doesn't mean anything.
You go back to the source.
Yeah, you go back. You are the source. You're like, oh, hey, I'm back. I'm back to fucking work.
Hey, Kyle, I dropped a link for you, a short story you really need to read. I think you'll like it.
What is it?
It's called The Egg by Andy Weir.
I've read The Egg.
It reminded me of what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was close, except he wasn't actually God, but he was with God the whole time and stuff. Like it was really cool.
Was pretty much everybody who ever existed, the same person.
Yes, and that's really what it comes down to. It's like the world exists and everything happens because of decisions that you are a part of that you don't actually get to make, but the real you, which is God, which is this mind. Think about this. Imagine if you died and you woke up and you were just God, okay? What else is there? Who else is there? You are in the universe. You are in time, the ether, forever by yourself. What would you do? You would make up fucking worlds and shit in your mind.
You don't wanna know what I would do.
Fuck, we all know what you would do, okay? Keep it in your pants, fucker.
God would have me on some real strict shit.
I'm just saying, it seems like it just seems like that makes perfect sense to me. That it's like, yes, we live in a simulation and there's an ultimate programmer, but you are the programmer. Like each of us is not like a God, but the God that people sit there and pray to, Allah and shit, dude. That's who you are. And you don't even realize it until you die. It's so ironic. You're like, oh, fucking, of course it was. God damn it. I mean, I didn't want to sound like a big fucking, megalomaniac, but fuck, I should have known.
Yeah, the problem with this is that it explains everything, but at the same time it explains nothing.
Well, yeah, no. Well, what doesn't it explain? I mean, like, what do you think would help debunk it? Like, what would you say?
No, I'm not trying to debunk you. That's not the point. No, but you can.
I gotta go, guys. It was fun chatting.
Peace.
Have a good day.
Yeah. All right, have fun.
Easy.
You can take this point of view, which is like metaphysical, and explain everything, and it turns kind of like into a religion. It doesn't really explain anything in a scientific point of view, but on the other hand, it really does make sense, and it's satisfying in a way. So, but I don't know if it's taking us somewhere.
Or we could.
I don't think it ever will. Like take us anywhere. I think it's it's simply beyond our reach while we're mortal. But
yeah, it's philosophy. It's philosophy and not science.
Exactly, it is. It's purely philosophy because when you get to that point, there's nothing you can do physically to try to understand it.
Yeah. You sit here all day and not say shit and realize, that right? We really don't know shit.
You don't know fucking any. Or it's like then you get to the end and you realize I knew everything this entire time and I didn't even know it. All right, someone else take over for a minute. All right, Sean, hop on there. Where are you, Sean? Here.
Yeah, I'm here.
It
reminds me of like those electric balls, those glass balls where you touch your fingers and then the like streams go out to your fingertips.
Yeah, the plasma. I know.
Like it's like each one of us are the fingertip when it touches the glass ball. So we're getting we're coming from the one source. Kind of reminds me of that when you talk about that. And then at the same time, it's like manifest destiny. We manifest our reality around us subliminally. That's why they say like think positive and positive things will happen.
Yeah, there's a power behind intentions.
I was gonna say something. Oh, make me a mod. Yeah, you gotta make me a mod again since you unblocked me.
I was thinking about something David said in the chat. There can't be time travel in the future because otherwise we would have met some people from the future by now. And there are some theories about that. Maybe some aliens are time travelers from the future, and yeah, you know the drill.
Well, that means they're traveling back in time then.
Yeah. For example, like the aliens are time travelers from the future, and the Greys are like humans evolved over thousands
that's what I was hitting
of
at
years.
earlier.
Problem with that is, in my opinion, that most people don't think about that time travel is not only time travel but also space travel, because the Earth and the Sun and the universe is moving, and we have to like account for the movement of everything. And it's not like you're driving your DeLorean down the street and you're popping up at the same street. You're like popping up somewhere in deep space because the Earth has moved, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of miles to space during the years. So maybe that's why there's no time travelers, because if they're trying, they're like popping up in deep space and dying.
Well, we wouldn't know it if they came anyways. Why would they reveal that to us?
I don't think that they even could come here.
Well, it's like the butterfly effect. If they did something fucking here, they would fuck up their future right away, and it could be the stupidest, marginalist thing.
Well, they might exist out of that time space. So it
Exactly, though, that too. You know, a fraction of a second over in another time space.
What's that called?
I'm not sure I can follow what you're talking, what you're meaning.
You're talking about like if an abduction person dies in their care and they can mess up their whole future, but what if they exist outside of that?
No. That's not what I mean. Just think about you want to like go back in time to the 1950s.
Yeah.
It's not like you hop into some kind of a machine and you travel back 70 years in time, and then you're popping up at the same place, because the same place was in deep space 70 years ago, and not on Earth, because Earth has moved.
Well, if they're that advanced, their calculations would be on point. They'd be precise. They would
wormholes.
I mean, you guys talk about how the Greys are frail, but I mean, we talk about transhumanism nowadays. If they shed their biological existence, how could a Grey be frail? You know, I mean, say somebody does get loose that they abducted. I mean, I'm not gonna think that they're weak. They've probably fucking juiced themselves up somehow.
They're not strong physically, they're strong mentally.
Well, there's that.
That's why they have telepathy.
It gets all dull when Kyle stops talking.
He's doing something.
I was answering, talking in the chat.
I know what he's doing. He's rolling a fatty.
Rolling a blunt.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's so funny. I was going to say the same thing. He's rolling a blunt.
Roll it inside out, it lasts longer.
Kyle, make me a mod.
And make that dude a mod, so he'll be quiet. I'm messing.
I don't know. I'm just stuck on if they're that far advanced. I mean, they're gonna have so many things we can't even fathom.
For sure.
I just need to wipe down, but I've got the rest of it so clean.
So I've seen a UFO that was like 3 or 4 football fields big. It blotted out a piece of the sky. I mean, I'm just talking to nobody else's. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
Dude, it was massive, and it moved like nothing I've ever seen in my life. It was just super fast.
Wow.
That's fucking cool.
What were you
Where at?
doing?
What state?
I was here in New Mexico. I was in my hometown. It's Estancia, New Mexico.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, you got all kinds of fucking like cool sightings out there, huh?
Yeah, some weird stuff out there, man. It's just a weird little town. Like,
dude, why don't you get yourself some night vision, man?
I'm going to.
Yeah, you need to, dude. Get yourself some fucking. Oh, you know what, dude? I could set you up with a guy, dude. That fucking he makes night vision, man. Just fucking sell it to you, really good ones, man. He like, oh, dude, he's awesome. You see, I've probably seen him on a channel. Darren Ashmore.
I think you've posted some stuff previously, maybe.
Yeah, I posted some of his videos and shit, and you know, he fucking makes like night vision, dude, and his shit's fucking awesome, man.
What were you doing when you saw your UFO?
Honestly, I was chilling with one of my homeboys, and I was blazing it.
You fucking stoner.
Yeah, well, I was a teenager. I mean, not that I don't,
well,
but...
you know, and that sucks because it's like you feel afraid to say that because you're like, oh, if I say that, they're gonna think I'm crazy and doing drugs and I was hallucinating. You know, I understand.
Exactly.
Believe me, you know, fucking no worries, buddy.
But you know, that's not even the case. You know, yes, it does affect everybody differently, but on that term, I can handle my shit. But he saw it too, so you know, I know that I wasn't tripping or whatever. But,
oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, just because you're high doesn't mean you were fucking didn't know what you were doing. You know.
Yeah,
I never hallucinated ever.
And if anything, that kind of plays into the thing where they show up when we're the most kind of like if we're sleeping, and hey, if you're smoking, you're kind of a little out of it a little bit.
No.
Yep. Take some psilocybin and then go look at some cats, dude. Cats are fucking weird.
Like orchestra, what did it look like?
They look like aliens. Like little
no, like was it a round UFO? Was it a square UFO?
Oh, the one that I saw was
yeah.
Dude, it was jet black, and I'd say it was probably like a freaking egg kind of, I don't know, some kind of elliptical shape, but it was massive. It would swing around, and it just had like one light. It was weird because it blotted out the part of the sky that I was looking at. Had one light, and it would just swing around, and that happened like 3 times. I mean, and it took a couple seconds for that light to come around because of the size, and then I seen it starting to take off. I told my friend to turn his truck around, and by the time we turned around, that thing had probably already gone like 70, 80 miles.
That seems like a common sighting in New Mexico. I just found a couple videos and pictures of something similar to what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, it was weird, you know. I mean, it wasn't like that I felt like I was gonna get abducted or had any kind of weird feeling, you know. I was more excited than anything, and telling my friend to look so he could verify, you know, that I was seeing what I was seeing. And yeah, sure enough, he saw it too. We turned around, and that's all I know is that it was gone quick.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
Cool.
It's a crazy story, man. All right, you guys, I'm gonna get out of here, man. Fucking let you guys do. Can it keep bullshitting or whatever? I gotta get something to eat. I got the fucking munchies like a motherfucker, man. I gotta talk to fucking Nick real quick. And whatever happened to fucking did Scott get on here? No, he never even came on here, man.
Scott Waring?
No, not Scott Waring. No, it's good reality shift, Scott, man. Hit him. Oh, and Tom's already gone. I gotta hit him up too. Yeah. All right, you guys. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here and do my thing, man. But thanks for fucking coming in and fucking hanging out with me and everything. You guys stay on here and bullshit. Do whatever. Keep this thing open or whatever. All right. All right, you guys. I'll talk to you later. All right.
Fixed.
UFO proof out. Look at this, man. Why the fuck now you got on here? How'd you get on here now, Sean? What the fuck happened?
Somebody blocked me.
No one blocked you.
Somebody
dude.
had me
No one
blocked.
blocked you.
Who the fuck would block? How can someone even block somebody on there like that? You just wouldn't see their post, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. It just kept telling me I was blocked by someone in the conversation, and then I guess they unblocked me, so I was able to get in.
How can someone block? I don't think they have the power to do that. You know? Yeah, I think you just fucked up, and now you're trying to blame it on one of us, dude. That's what you're trying to do.
I should have screen capped it. No, I tried like 17 times from my computer, from my phone. It just said someone in the conversation blocked me, so I wasn't allowed to join. So it could have been anyone.
That's weird. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know. What up, Yoga? How you doing, sweetie?
Hey, what's up?
Shit, man. Tell us a story. All right, tell us the story now. Pick one. Pick a cool UFO story. We'll discuss it.
I found a really good site with UFO evidence. I'm trying to find.
Is your name Yoga, fucker? You rude son of a bitch. I'm just fucking with you. You'll be next, Don.
Oh, go ahead right now.
All right, we'll give her a chance to think.
Mark on here, he has a story.
Who? Who has a story?
Drunky Smurf, he tried to type it, but there was a character limit, so he never ended up entering it. He said he was afraid that people would call him a dumbass.
Nah, man, now I want to hear a story. Fuck. Really? Damn. Oh, fuck, I want to hear a story, man. What up, Blank? How you doing, buddy?
That's what this place is for.
Yeah, dude. You know, I mean, you know, you come in here, start talking about reptiles and shit, and fucking, you know, the queen being a lizard. You know, I'll take issue with that, but fuck, other than that, you know, where the fuck did Sean go?
I'm here.
There you go. Now you're on fucking flat beer, right?
No.
I was talking to Constant. Yeah, no, go ahead, Sean. What were you saying? What site were you talking about?
I'm trying to find it. I posted a link to the website.
Started feeding into the UFO stories around here, which were all sightings of helicopters. And then someone like that Escher guy, that Bob guy there, caught wind of it, and I think he was the Guardian. I think he saw an opportunity to create this thing out of nothing. And I feel like he did all that Guardian crap. And Lebanek was just a housewife who got overexcited, thought she saw something she didn't, and went a little crazy.
That's the thing. You got to think. You got to consider the fact that, like the shit that he was doing, he was fucking. Now they found out that he was filing reports, trying to get the Guardian exposed. Remember? Now, now, why would he be doing that if it was himself?
What's interesting is,
and they only found it out by like secret. They found it out he never told anyone that he did that, and they discovered that he had done that. So it wouldn't make sense that he was going to go and file a report on himself, trying to bust himself out, you know.
But apparently it would seem that he put up some weird signs or something in preparation for bringing them into the hoax area, and like wrote weird messages on them. So that
doesn't prove that he did it.
That he put the signs up?
The messages were written on the signs.
Well, I don't. Just the feeling I got was that he was trying to create a thing. He was trying to create some kind of
I agree.
A story. And what was a story. And what was interesting about it was that as soon as the thing was done and it was kind of shown to be a hoax and he was outed, he immediately retired from UFO research. It's like he appeared to create the Guardian thing. Once it had run out of fuel, then I'm retiring from UFO research in '93, and he's been gone since.
Cons doesn't know what we're talking about, dude. I can't believe Sean can't get on the fucking Hangouts now.
It'd be interesting to track him down today. I'd like to track him down and ask him questions the way they tracked down the governor of Phoenix and asked him questions, and he actually started saying he'd seen the UFO and he had seen, for nuclear war is right near here. So the RCMP was investigating whether there were helicopters that were violating transportation laws, flying too low. And what the guy found was really surprising. What he found was that there are U.S. Black Hawk helicopters that make these kamikaze kind of joyrides where they come from Fort Brom or something, and they come down below 500 feet, and they scream over the treetops right over these houses, and they're conducting like some kinds of military exercises. And it was interesting because in the RCMP report, he writes like, we're aware that they do this. So far, our complaints have not been, the interesting thing I found researching it was this. Forces military flies Blackhawks at treetop level over my neighborhood for fun.
Yeah, well, so, yeah, and I read that. Yeah, I read that entire report, man. Like I said, like I think oh fuck, I think we're on YouTube. Are we on YouTube live right now, you guys?
It says live up top there.
Yeah, I know it says on Google Hangouts, but can you see it on YouTube?
Let's see here, bud.
I think that like I said, I think that the fucking Guardian is fucking Diane Lebanon. I think that bitch is fucking insane. And I think Bob Exler took advantage of the fact that he was going to make this fucking make it into a big deal. And because like the Guardian had already sent letters and stuff to ufologists for a while before that footage got sent. I think Bob Exler decided to fucking try to make it into a big fucking thing. He tried to like blow it out of proportion, which he did, and which Unsolved Mysteries picked up on it. He was already in cahoots with them, like working.
By the way,
yeah, we're on YouTube.
Yeah, we're live.
We are.
So
Sweet.
my only difference with your theory, Kyle, is my feeling, just my intuition, is that what Diane Lebanon saw a helicopter land in her backyard.
The fucking road workers blocked off the road, and they took out a chunk of the road that the UFO had like burnt with the flame, dude, because that's how low it was to the ground. And they took out just that particular section of the road that very same day. I mean, what kind of fucking coincidence is that? I mean, come on, give me a break. It's like, obviously they got fucking ordered to take that shit out. And what I found was interesting was she went to the Air Force, and she was like asking for help, and they said that they would give her some help, and she went there because she had cancer because of this thing. And she's like, you guys, that's all she wanted was help. She didn't want anything else, no money, just like, she's like, help me medically. And they were like, no, there is no such thing. We didn't have 22 helicopters out flying, following a UFO or whatever. And she's like, you did. She actually went to the Air Force with her bags packed and everything, you have to check, I don't know where you can have it. I actually have it in one of my books, man. Let me see.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I've heard firsthand things that it was even crazier than that. I mean, these things were more than just huge, man. They were like, they were bigger than, not to exaggerate them, but just that they were a lot, that I've had firsthand information that it was just huge.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the actual size of the triangles, the ships.
Hey, Sean.
From
the real is just it was there's a lot more, there's more to it. If you
to the cache land to the cache sighting.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the actual size of the triangles.
See, I didn't hear that there were any triangles in the cache landrum.
No, just the size of the ship.
Oh,
who witnessed what they saw, a first-hand account. A friend, he told me if you could have really been there, you wouldn't believe some of the facts that are left out in the actual, the awe-inspiring crap before it fried your skin.
Fuck, man. Yeah, I mean, that's gotta be intense, dude. Fuck you. Oh, look at this motherfucker, dude.
I wasn't there. I'm just saying, y'all tell it. But,
look at this, you Muslim motherfucker.
It'd be interesting. Yeah, it'd be interesting to track down this guy and have him admit on camera it was all a hoax.
Oh, yeah. Dude.
So that you could just put it to rest.
What up? Okay, now it's your turn, buddy. You're on.
You know what, man? I'm just...
Shit, now you just joined in and just watching. Now you got to fucking talk because you came on the Hangouts. Nah, I'm not just going to let you sit there, dude.
You know what?
You ain't going... you ain't hanging up either. Don't give me no bullshit about, I got dinners. And the kids.
I wanna hear about not about anything like the Antarctic crap, nothing like that. You were talking about they were talking about that the cache landrum events.
Oh yeah, that's a great story, man.
I'd like to go over the facts of that. Just what was the story about?
Betty Cash and what was it? Cash and Langdon, or fuck, I forget the other one's name. So they were driving, just these two old ladies and their grandson, and they're driving and they see like 22. I think they counted 22 double rotor fucking double bladed helicopters, like heavy lift military helicopters, flying around this craft that looked like a glowing pink diamond. And this is how they described it. And it said it had flames coming out of the bottom of it. And it flew over the street, like over the road right in front of them, and basically stopped. And they got out of their car and they were looking at it. And then the heat, like they felt heat coming off of it. So they're like, get back in the car and go. And they went to get in the car, and like their hands got burnt just grabbing the door handles. Like it was like microwaving everything apparently. And it was so intense, it ended up giving them all cancer. They all got fucking cancer and eventually died from it, So, I mean, that's pretty hardcore. But she had told the story to some fucking investigators at the same time when she had like told the military and stuff. And one investigator was fucking super smart, and he's like, where was the location where this happened? And she told him, and he fucking went out there and he took pictures of the road and everything. And that very same day,